Street Fighter 6 beta impressions. We're just gonna jump right into it. Off the rip, how did you guys overall like your week? I know me and Meza were playing throughout the weekend. I know MJ, you had not limited, you had like I think a full day, but I'm sure you got the cram as much as you could into it. But how did you guys overall off the rip feel about the beta? I'll start with you, Meza. We'll go with you.
All right. I hate saying this, but I don't think there's been a better beta since. Yeah, this might have been the best beta. Like hands down. Like
I mean, far better than Street Fighter 5's beta. I'll tell you that much.
That is true. I don't think I remember a game that had a beta that ran so fucking smoothly. Like I think I had no hiccups. Like I know some people said they had like a disconnect or two, but
yes,
honestly, I didn't have anything. Like I was sitting there, and granted, I played maybe total maybe like 16 hours at most. Not really. I was like, God damn, they put so much thought into this, from the hub to the menu. I think the menuing is like the smoothest and crispest. Not too many characters. I didn't feel overwhelmed. I felt like training room was still effective, even though some things were blocked off. Ranking was where the kind of the serious, sweaty people were. I like the whole layout for the hub, because they had like these challenge modes and all this other stuff like in the corners. So like I like looked at them and I was like, I'm not gonna play that. Maybe when it comes out. But this is what we always talk about, right? Is content. Mm-hmm. I feel like I haven't even seen the full game, and there's fleshed out content in a beta that's meant for checking connectivity. And honestly, I think the network connectivity has been the best.
What about you, MJ? I know you got to. Did you get into like a lot of the features? Did you overall like impressions early on? Did you just like jump in and just start playing characters?
I looked at some of the features, but yeah, I didn't start playing until Sunday, so I didn't probably explore them as much as other people did. But for me personally, I was blown away. Like Meza said, I've never played a beta this like in depth. There had this much content, and just generally for fighting games, because I know Mortal Kombat games are kind of known for their single player content.
Yeah.
As somebody who plays primarily Street Fighter, this beta alone had more content than most of the full-fledged fighting game titles that I've played just in general. So it felt good. I know a lot of people have said it's like Street Fighter 5.5. As somebody who's been playing 5 for 6 years, I didn't feel that way. It felt like a completely new experience. Maybe it's because I was playing like Kimberly instead of like Guile or Chun, but it was fun. It was a new experience in terms of the gameplay, but it didn't feel overwhelming. And the most important thing, like I enjoyed learning just the mechanics, and to Mez's point about just the interface, that just everything, it was just a good experience. Because sometimes if the gameplay is great, but it feels like everything surrounding the gameplay is a hassle, it's not as enjoyable. But I didn't have that at all with Street Fighter 6. Everything was pretty smooth.
I'm in a similar boat. I definitely was. I was in there 3 a.m. As soon as that joint went up, I was like, "Yep, we're live. I'm going in." And you had to start with the character the character creation, right? Which was really cool. We went in going like, "Oh, it looks really good," because we were seeing the character creation off the rip. We're like, "Oh wow, that looks great." We're getting the inklings of Soul Calibur. We talked about this, Meza, how create a soul, right? Like that feature that they have in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's dope. Like they're really starting to pull it in, content, right? That's the big C word that's they're trying to kind of put down. And we're like, by the time I got in there, it was like, dude, this is like to 11. Like the weird body types, the crazy characters. They were like, we're just giving you sliders and y'all can just do your thing. And you have to do this just so you can enter the damn game. Which I was like, that's awesome. Yeah. So they're like, we designed it all. You are going to fucking use it. Like you're gonna go through this. I don't care how many blue and green haired girls are out there. You're gonna do this because it was like one of the default hairstyles. But for me, yeah, like it was off the rip. I wanted to see how they were going to handle it, because I still had a little bit of PTSD from Street Fighter V's legendary beta, how that was just, can't connect the title screen simulator for like, I don't know how many days before you actually were eventually to get in. And I can't remember, if they extended the beta because of that? I'm trying to remember, right? Did they? Like, yeah. I think I remember, or they had to make a second phase beta because the first one just wasn't successful. They just were not ready. This was just the complete opposite, design your character, get into the hub, start pressing buttons and figure. That's the one thing I'll be like, you just start pressing buttons and start figuring shit out. Like, oh, I press, hold RT. Now I got emotes. I can throw my Hadokens. There's several pages to it, and that's where it starts like going into the experience. So let's just go into like lobby experience, right? I just want to be 100 about it. I think the lobby experience though was great. Super meme. It was just like people having fun, posing weird next to each other. The photo mode is creating already lots of fun feeds. Bro, how many fucking menus do you need to go through in this lobby? I was losing. I can stand in front of a computer, look at spreadsheets. I've done productions. I will look at a submit, and that won't faze me. I got into this game, and I was like, son, I'm fucking lost. I don't know where the fuck to look to do what. Like, I didn't know. I was like, the first thing, like 99% of competitive players were like, where the fuck do I do classic mode controllers? Like I went into it, I'm pressing buttons, I'm like, I think something's wrong with my stick. I'm throwing fireballs with one button. I completely forgot modern controls. I was like, oh god, I gotta change it. Oh, I'm in training mode, let me change it to classic. All right, cool, I should be fine now. Get into a match, I'm still in modern. I have to go to another menu to do that. I was like, this is some bullshit. Like, the UI experience, I'm gonna just give it right now, was not my cup of tea. Like, luckily you only have to do it once because they have a luck. When you change the like one character, if you could be like, oh, this color, this theme of control, you can say apply to everyone and be like, cool, I never have to really do this menu ever again. But I feel like they could have had a little bit more of an intuitive way of doing it. I didn't even know where rank mode was until I was asking Meza on damn near Saturday night. I was like, where do I go for rank mode? Oh, you have to hit X to then find rank mode. I'm like, not start. Like, no, hit X for that. Starts another menu. I'm like,
yeah, it's interesting because I even told you when we were sitting down and playing, I was like, I kind of wish if we're touching the hub, and I hope they change this. When we're playing at a cab, I should just be able to pick whoever the fuck I want. Don't
not having a character select there. Yeah, if you decide to sit there, like if you're walking around, sure, go for the predetermined character maybe you have on your profile. But if you sit down like at a cab, you could kind of add to the experience a little bit. Be like, ooh, character select, and then pick right there, and then wait before you have to hit, hey, queue up or wait in the training mode. But I took your input, as to who to play. Maybe
I would like to see that. I would like to see that change only because I mean, take it from somebody who plays the one game that has the least amount of content. But they did something right with the least the lobbies to some extent, which was allowing us to fully customize lobbies in DNF Duel. And we could choose to whether lock you into your characters or for that you play set for your account, or you could just character select during the middle of matches and during the match. So I definitely think that's one thing I would like to see added. Other than that, okay, I could have just pressed start and that should have just been the menu. And I do agree with that. But I don't think you should have to change every single fucking character to classic. That was a little bit much because obviously I was playing with my roommate here. So I like instantly told him, I was like, you got to switch that, man. You can't, because he was like, oh man, I got to play a match like this. I was like, yeah, you got to switch it. So we switched it. As we started playing seamlessly though, I will say this, because it was me, Rob, and Dre, we were all playing. And it's funny because anytime I go to play Dre or we would swap, I love that they have the same concept as JoJo's where you plug and go. You plug and go. It doesn't matter on your stick.
Your controller, right?
Stick, I plugged, yeah. It did not matter. So we could swap our sticks, and it felt like I was getting off of the cab and just swapping. And he would just instantly swap his character, and he was already ready to sit down. So I thought the fluidity of how fast it was perfect. Because even he was saying, he was like, there's like no load times.
I was gonna bring that up. Definitely way more matches played because these load times damn near not existent. I thought that was just local. Like, I thought when they were showing it off, those builds, I was like, oh, look at Rematch. Rematch is so fast, right?
Did you play on PC or PS4?
I played... Oh, yeah, actually, we should probably route that. I played on PC.
Yeah, I played on PC as well. Yeah.
Okay, we were all PC here. Okay. So disclaimer, we all played on PC. There is... I don't want to say there's like a crazy difference. Like, the only big difference, if you want to get super technical, is things like the input delay is different. If you actually, they actually showed off what a PS5 was looking like. It was like somewhere in the 90 ms. To put it in perspective, Street Fighter 5 was around 70 ms. Is like the number of ranges around there. So not the best, but once again, don't take it as absolute. This is beta, so this is something that can get improved by launch. It can get improved by a day one patch. They were already doing it for Street Fighter. They've done it on other games. Well, other companies have done it on other games like Tekken. Tekken's been updated like several times for it. So this is not the end all be all. For it.
Yeah, and I think everything else, I shouldn't say everything else, but so much of the other stuff about the game is so good and has gotten such a good feedback that I think that the smaller details that maybe other games can't really put much time and energy into, but because the gameplay for the most part is so solid, I think they probably will address that between now and the release.
Yeah, for real. So lobbies was looking good. I mean, I don't know how many of you like Spinning Bird kicked off like the second floor. Anyone else do that? Or was
Yeah.
it just me? Because I just wanted to see how far. Because I was like, this is great. I get to do all these moves. You know, like I'll BM. You know, if someone's a dick. I've had someone be a dick to me. Because I love the chat. The chat's awesome because you can like privately send somebody in that room a message. So you can get kudos because I've gotten messages, which is really dope. Of like, yo, man, like GG's. Like I've gotten my ass whooped, you know, when I'm learning a character, you know, 20-5 or something. And dude will still be like, yo, GG's, that was good stuff, blah, blah, blah. Or it's the other way and they'll say that. And then you can private DM that person right there. Or you can set it to all and just be like, yo, this guy's a fucking scrub. Or, you know, if you want the salt to get out there. Those features were great, and like I said, you know, maybe the BM, you know, you do their characters like move next to them after maybe you beat them and you leave. You're just I did it to a guy. I'm fucking sorry, bro. You deserve that shit. I am biased. I do not like GoW players. I hate that you get the turtle so fucking hard, man. I just want to jump. I'm a scrub. But when I beat this guy and he was kind of a dick, I was like just flash kicking him for like a minute. Man, that felt great. I wouldn't take that shit back.
It will be interesting to see how those interactions kind of transfer into the game.
Yeah.
Instead of having like trash talk via Twitter or Discord or something like that. Now you can actually just do it there.
Yeah, hit him. Oh my God, hit him with the BM in game. Can't wait. Not just teabag, not just, you know, up and down, but you can actually then do it with the avatar or whatever online.
I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with what people came up with for characters. Like I kind of went to a lot of different streams, saw what people were making. And I won't lie, I was very impressed. I think the level of customization you have is kind of absurd for.
It's cursed. It's cursed, is what it is.
I'm like, yo, look, I give it to them. They're representing everything and everybody, and I think it's cool that you could really just do whatever the hell you want with your character. Right? You want to make your character look like a stick man? Cool, you do that. You want to, you know, make your character look like Beyonce? You do that, all right? You do
make him look like Cloud from Final Fantasy VII PS1 graphics with the Popeye arms. You can do that. Like, it was done.
I definitely liked also that as you progressively played, like I didn't obviously open anything up, but you got rewards for playing online.
Yes.
So it's more incentive to go to the shop and buy stuff. Like I always like little things like that because then it doesn't feel like, and I'm glad it's not a gacha, and I'm glad you're not pulling for shit like Dragon Ball made us pull for stuff. But ultimately, I felt really like I hate saying this because like this might be the first time I'm pretty convinced I should just drop every other game when this comes out. That's very hard for me to say. And don't get me wrong, I played Street Fighter 5, I played Street Fighter 4, I played Third Strike, but like something about like Street Fighter 4, I was like, okay, I made my way through it. I played it was fine, but I knew I wasn't gonna be as competitive. Street Fighter 5, I was like, first 6 months, I'm gonna be super competitive, and then I saw myself hate the game over time, and I knew the reason why. You know, and it's funny because I was a Cammy player, so I'm like, okay,
yeah, what do you got to complain about?
They changed some things that made, you know,
Cammy
whatever. But this game, I felt like they really tried their best to combine a lot of different things, and I gotta be honest, I see glimpses of other games, man. I'm liking it a lot. I have my frustrations, as we've come across, but I think overall, this is the first time I played a beta for such a short amount of time and didn't try to like stay up and like grind it out. And I was like, okay, I can't wait for this game to come out. This is like it's something I'm going to actually quote from Justin Wong. He said, "Damn, what fighting game is there even left to play now after playing Street Fighter 6 beta?" And I kind of felt that. I was like, how do I go back to DNF?
It's done very yeah. There was someone that did a really good like Spider-Man meme where like where it's like Mary Jane's disappearing. She's like, no. It's like the Street Fighter 6 beta disappears and he's always left with his Tekken 7 and bad netcode. It was great. It was a really good tweet. Well, I mean,